Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give an official shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, makes great gifts year-round. Amazon.com. Check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, and cool merchandise, including T-shirts, pop sockets, as well as hoodies and phone cases and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia. Check it out today. Also support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, along with PayPal and themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a chief strategy officer at Boss.ai and the owner of PSG and managing partner A2E. So we'll talk more about that. And also, his new company provides the only commercially available federated learning solution, applied distributed data, hybrid, as well as virtual computing, etc. More virtual computing, a lot more. And also, this gentleman helped maximize bottom line of more than 1,000 companies, including Microsoft, Goodyear, British Petroleum, General Electric, Kellogg, Alcoa, and more. And he's an Oxford University graduate and a Wharton Business School graduate and grew up in streets in New Jersey. We'll talk more about that. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios somewhere in the East Coast, a little more like Pennsylvania, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, this Chief Strategy Officer at Boss.ai and the owner of PSG and managing partner A2E, the amazingly multi-talented Paul Szyarto. Paul, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Mike, thanks for having me, man.
What's great to have you on board, too. And you've got an amazing profile. You're a chief strategy officer at Boss.ai and the owner of PSG and managing partner of A2E. We'll talk more about that. Your new company provides the only commercially available federated learning solution, applied distributed data, hybrid, cloned, and also virtual computing and more as well. You help maximize the bottom line of more than 1,000 companies, including the big ones like Microsoft, Goodyear, BP, General Electric, Kellogg, Alcoa, and more. You're a Oxford and Wharton Business School graduate. You grew up the streets of New Jersey, and we'll talk about that as well too. How you just went from the bottom all the way to top. Just a great story. And before getting to all that, Paul, tell us how you first got started.
Well,
way back, Machine Sherman, way back.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start at childhood, or do you want to get into the professional side?
Sure, why not? Let's go back to the streets of New Jersey and where you're at now. So it's like it's going a little time warp here, virtually. So
yeah. So streets of Jersey. So I lived 20 plus different locations throughout New Jersey. My dad was a pretty bad alcoholic. So we moved a lot. He brought a lot of chaos, and when that chaos was delivered, we pretty much packed our things and moved on to the next location. So at the age of 12, he actually came to my house at around 3 a.m., shot up my house.
Ooh.
And my mom did what she could to protect us, but my father was off to prison, Broadway State Prison, and by the time I was 13, I was testifying against my dad for what he did. And my mother actually got remarried by that time. And between 13 to 17, it was just, trying to get back into the stability of life with the new family. And by the time I was 17, I joined the Navy. So
wow. Okay. All right. So what inspired you to join the Navy?
Honestly, I was depressed. I had nowhere else to go. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have really any direction. And my dad was an ex-Marine. And I said to myself, let me go join the Marines. And I was there about to sign the letter of, essentially the enrollment letter. And next thing you know, my uncle called. He said, hey, check out the Navy. I decided to check out the Navy and went ahead and signed up for the Navy. So I honestly just didn't have direction. So it's
wow, that's rather interesting. And what were you assigned to, and what was your corporal rank in terms of honorable discharge?
So I was in the military. I joined the Navy as a nuclear technician, and so I learned how to fix nuclear reactors. So that was my goal. I was I came from the streets and then went into the military to focus on nuclear reactors. Next thing you know, I met some of the people that worked on nuclear reactors, decided not to do that, and went down a path of advanced electronics. So I was working on satellite communication systems, weather observation systems, precision approach radar systems, and so on. Did that for 6+ years, and then was honorably discharged while serving my time in Naples, Italy. So,
wow, that's really interesting. And tell us about your time in Naples.
So Naples, I would say, is a great place to visit. It's an interesting place to live, and it is not the ideal location for a military individual. So it's no Italians don't like American military. So it was just tough. It was really tough. I mean, we did our best because we were there to attract terror cells and support the Mediterranean fleet. So it was every day was a new challenge, and I was there during September 11th. So when the planes crashed into the Twin Towers, it was all hell broke out. So it was just a chaotic event. We were spiraled down this path into war, and it was just tough. It's I honestly couldn't wait to get out. So I was discharged in 2002, and then served in the reserves until 2004. So.
Wow, that's really interesting. And what was the most challenging assignment that you had, and what was like the most interesting that you've done in the armed forces?
I would say the most challenging was I was one of 3 people selected to stay on base during a major hurricane that went through the Gulf. It just tore up the entire base, and it was me and my senior chief and first class. We were there, and I had the responsibility of ensuring that equipment stayed online. So we were actually doing work in the middle of a hurricane, which was really pretty chaotic. And I'd say the most rewarding was just seeing the how the team works together, and watching essentially myself and my teams progress. So,
and what was like the most unusual that you've done
in the military?
Yes. The most unusual, really odd, or maybe funny, or something to write about, whatever it is. Like, what was like the most unusual? Like, a little head scratcher. Like, what the?
I would say every day was a head scratcher in the military. So sometimes you would wind up. So I'd say the biggest head scratcher in the military is that everyone is an expert cleaner. So I don't know how many times we wax the floor a day, but you would when you're not doing anything, you would wax a floor. So it's just like you would strip it, wax it. So that was like the daily event, which I don't even understand why, because the floors were always clean. So
oh my gosh, yeah. I can imagine wax on, wax off every day. Probably get tired of the Karate Kid. So
yeah, right.
and of course, we'll also talk about your business as well too. And what got you inspired to get into electronics? What was the first thing for you?
Honestly, I didn't have an interest in electronics. I just had a really high aptitude. And that was the area within the military that required the highest aptitude. So they put me into that. So I had no interest in electronics or computers when I first started. And just based on the scoring on one of their tests, they said you would be a best fit for this. So,
that's really interesting. And then it turns up you end up being a chief strategy officer at Boss.ai. And the owner of PSG and managing partner A2E. We'll talk about that thanks to your experience. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forrest Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com and over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who gave us an interesting background about, growing up in New Jersey, going into the Navy and the Armed Forces, and he's now a chief strategy officer at Boss.ai and the owner of PSG and managing partner of A2E here on the Mike Wagner Show. And tell us more about those companies and what inspired you to start them.
Well, I would say let's start with PSG. PSG is a my own private equity. So over the past several years, I've built my own assets, brought them to market, brought them to exit, and I've taken the proceeds and I've invested that back into acquiring additional assets. And my main goal with PSG is to invest in great ideas and great assets, support a lot of people, help people progress. So coordinating with Boss.ai is I have the honor of working with the team over there. It is the first federated machine learning platform that's in the marketplace today. And what they've been able to do is create predictive analytics based on nodes at the edge, which means they don't need to take data and combine it into a centrally located data store into a lake. They can leave the data where it resides, and they can do predictive analytics based on where it resides. So it's really advanced, very neat, and I think it's pretty much gonna take over the market over the next 2 years. So
and how does it differ from the traditional way of handling data and more?
So the traditional way is pretty much, creating a centralized model for data analytics. So in most cases, you would have to take the data, move it to a central, data storage, And from there, you're going to use many tools to do the predictive analytics in that sense. In this case, we don't need to do that. We could actually do analytics at the edge, at the distributed nodes. So there is no more need to pass that data to a central location.
Mm-hmm.
So
and how's this data analytics apply to everyday business routine and everything like that? And how does this apply?
Well, just think of it. Every company in the world is trying to minimize their disruption due to data within the marketplace. So, everyone is trying to figure out. So, for example, even your show to gain greater ratings, you're using data to identify your consumer base, your market reach, what are they interested in, and so on. So with what you can do with predictive analytics is you can actually create a learned model to understand your current data sets and combine it with external data sets to help influence how you modify your show to reach, a greater magnitude of listeners, or change your show, or so on and so on. So it actually gives you answers to problems that may not be, in front of you at this time. So
in other words, this is a brand new version of market research.
Well, it's not just market research; it's applied to everything. So, for example, we just came out of the COVID pandemic. So this company was able to create a learned model that predicted where the pandemic was going to spread, how the variants were going to change, how it was going to affect populations. So we were able to predict that. So you could use it for manufacturing. You could use it for correlation between consumers and products to help define what products are going to sell to what consumers, when, how, why, where, and for what price. So
that's rather interesting too. And I'm also thinking about how else can this apply to daily life. You talk about, like, say, with a podcast like my show, and also businesses and everything else. And what about some of the more complex ones, like, say, oil companies, or say, like, with stock markets or anything like that? Get down to the simple. But how about the more complex ones?
Yeah, I'd say it's actually used more for the more complex ones than for simple. I was just trying to create a simple, example for the audience. But in most cases, you would use them for very, very complex data sets that have not 1,000 lines or 1,000,000 lines, but 1,000,000,000 lines or 1,000,000,000,000 lines. And then you're taking this and doing a pretty complex data correlation based on historical and predicting where the future trends are going to be. So
that's rather interesting too. He also worked with companies like Microsoft, Goodyear, British Petroleum, General Electric, Kellogg, Alcoa, and more. And tell us about these case studies and what the results were.
Well, I worked with those organizations under a different brand, a different organizational set. So prior to joining Boss, I had my own organizations that did project and program management. So I would help these organizations build out their enterprise project controls, doing project management, program management, financial controls, forecasting, and so on and so on. So yeah, I did that for almost 16 years. So
wow, it's amazing. And what would you say was the most challenging project that you've done? You can just describe it from start to finish.
I would say the most challenging project I've ever done was working with Microsoft to develop their Azure platform, figuring out how to deploy Gen 4, Gen 5 data centers throughout the world. So that was really understanding, like, the geospatial, how the data centers work, the energy output, where they should be located, what the loads are going to be, and figuring out a plan of execution to help deploy. And I actually built the project management control system that actually managed the deployment of those data centers.
That's rather interesting too. You also talked about the whole COVID and the pandemic as well too. And how about in areas of medical as well too, like with hospitals and healthcare and everything like that? I'm sure that had to be a great need to that when it comes to data and everything you do.
Yeah, of course. So it's like, so if you think about hospitals, I mean, hospitals are trying to understand predict bed utilization, resource capacity utilization. So what they're doing is, they're trying to ingest a lot of data for themselves and from a holistic standpoint within the marketplace to help, create forecasts and projections on where they should be as individual entities.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and how about crypto and NFT? That's the next big things happening.
Yeah, crypto NFT. I'm not doing a lot in those spaces yet, But yeah, it is it's an interesting set of domains. I'd say there's a lot of call it fraud in those worlds right now because people don't understand what it's about. So
that's rather interesting too. And also going back to being with PSG and managing partner ATE, you talk about acquiring assets. Just go into a bit more detail about the assets you acquired as well too, and also the process of acquiring assets, and then you just turn around too. Maybe something we can encourage those watching and listening, they can do the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, getting into the world of private equity requires capital, one, and having an understanding of evaluating great ideas and great assets and how they may, increase or decrease based on economical, geopolitical, and, competitive landscapes and so on. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. It's very complex. And we've actually been able to build models that allow us to prosper well in those industries. So
you also specialize in executive coaching as well too. Tell us about that and some of the other services you offer.
Yeah, I'd say from an executive coaching standpoint, I do it mostly based on the engagements that I work with to help the executive teams actually build an acumen and a skill base to help them run their organizations. We have a new organization coming out soon called Mentobo, which is actually a mentoring platform that allows for entrepreneurs to join. They get access to tools, benefits, discounts. It's everything an entrepreneur needs to actually excel at the business of life, which is pretty neat.
That is rather interesting. In fact, going from the streets of New Jersey, going into the Marines, and then going to Italy, and then you get into these companies as well. I mean, you're just one heck of a story. And what can we learn from your story of success?
I would say that the Cuban mentality of never giving up, never allowing yourself to be broken, always continue forward because there's always another step you can take. So never stand still.
And where can we find more information about you and your companies and everything else?
You can always check me out at paulszyarto.com. That's PaulSzyarto.com.
We will certainly check that out. What's coming up for Paul Szyarto in the future, we'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's of Missing, available on Amazon, paperback, and ebook. We'll be back with the multi-talented Paul Szyarto of Boss.ai and PSG and A2E after this time.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the multi-talented Paul Szyarto here on the Mike Wagner Show. And just an amazing story. You talked about growing up in New Jersey in a rough situation, going into navies and succeeding in the business that you have. And what can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, Paul?
2022, I'm going to be working with Boss.ai to help inflate their organizational valuation to around $20 billion, help them go to market. and do a public release. And I'd say after that, I am probably going to focus on law for a little bit.
Oh, wow. You're going to be going to law school or something?
I'm actually almost done with law school. So,
oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's amazing too. Would like to have you back on and talk about your career as well too. And speaking of that, who you consider biggest influence in your career?
Biggest influence in my career is probably my mom. So,
okay. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Again, I would say don't give up. So just keep moving. Just understand that, life is tough, embrace the suck, and keep on moving forward.
I like that. That's just well put. Once again, we're with the Chief Strategy Officer of Boss.ai over in PSG and also Managing Partner of A2E, Paul Szyarto, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Paul, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely terrific. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. We'd love to have you back on. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, or keep me purchase or check out your services?
Yeah, I would say just the quickest thing to do is just Google me, Paul Szyarto, Szyarto. That's going to come up with my website, my LinkedIn. That's the best way to get in touch with me.
We certainly will do that. Once again, Paul, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. We'd love to have you back. We wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you again. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Great. Thanks so much, Mike.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.